Hey guys, will you stop? Oh my god, you guys. My dog won't look at this. He's like humping the big brown one. It's so gross. Look. He's like a puppy and he's like totally horny all the time. Anyways, I am coming on. My hair's a mess. I just got out of class and I just ordered Uber Eats. I forgot it was Sunday. So I'm on now, seeing who's out there in the world. If anybody, I should put on the chat so I can see if you guys come in. This is your Sunday charms and cards thing. I'm a little early, but I think I'm going to. I wanted to come on early and make sure that this gets done because last week was July 4th. And so, are you done humping him? Are you done? Like, I should have named you Valentino or Romeo. You're so humpy all the time. Hey, Lisa, how are you? So, I'm just kind of on, seeing who's out there. If anybody wants charmings or cards. What are you doing, you porn addict? Get off of him. He is not your sex toy. He's not your love doll. God, he's not even a year old. He's a perv. You're like your father. Cut it out. So, yeah. And I just finished class, so I'm sitting here waiting for the Uber Eats guys to show up. But I thought I'd sign on and do this if there's anybody out there that wants a charming or card reading and you want to purchase one, you can certainly do so. Now would be the time. I'm not going to stay on long. Yeah, Demetrius is like laughing at my dog. My dog's a whore. He's a whore. He's a whore. He's a whore. Lisa says cards, please. Okay, let me go to the bedroom and get ready. Hold on. See here. Let me just set up the cameras really quick. Give me 1 minute. Excuse me. Can I switch it? OBS. No, that's not what I want. Microsoft camera rear. No, that's not the right camera. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Is it not? Hold on. Why is it not registering? Come on. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it should be showing up now. Give me 1 minute. Okay. All right, Lisa. So you've got deck number one, deck number two, or deck number three. You get to choose. Oh God, here they come. Here come the dogs. Will you stop with the humping already? I gotta get him neutered. That's the problem. He's just too horny all the time. Deck number one. Okay. Does anybody out there have HBO Max? And do you like scary shows? No, it's not an unboxing. It's the charming. I didn't title the video. Oh, does it say unboxing? Shit. I gotta change that. Damn it. That's from the last video. I didn't add a title. Hold on. Can I edit that? Okay, let me fix this. Sorry. Whoops. I forgot to do this. Charms and cards. Whoops. And we're gonna do 7. What is today? 7-11? 7-11. 7-11. No. Damn it. And get it together. Reading. Hey, you guys. Oh, hold on one second. I just realized I gotta go make sure that Puppy's not getting into the cat box too. Because when I'm in here doing this, he realizes that he has free reign to get into all sorts of crazy shit. So let me. One moment, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put the puppy up. Hey. Where are you, bud? Just I can't trust you not to eat cat food. I'm not looking. Come in here. Hey, now. I'm talking to you. Come on. Just because you get the cat food, you get sick. You'll be off now. Johnny has the breeds coming. We'll eat like kings. All right. So he's out. I don't have to worry about him now. So anyways, on HBO Max, I found this new show called The Outsider, and it's a Stephen King thing. If you like scary stuff, I don't know if you like scary stuff, Lisa, but it's creepy. I just started watching it yesterday. I saw an article about it on Facebook, and so I checked it out, and it's really weird and creepy. If you like that sort of stuff, it's like a season 1, right? So I guess there's going to be multiple seasons. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the story. I don't really keep up on Stephen King. He writes stuff so much that it's hard for me to keep up with what he's up to. But it's creepy, but kind of dark and good. I hope that it doesn't take long to do season 2, because if they don't solve it, I'm like intrigued as to what's going on, right? Like, it's good. I'm not used to watching on YouTube. It's different, LOL. Oh, well, welcome to watching on YouTube. I'm glad you're with us, Christina. All right, so let's see what does Lisa need to know. We've got the Chariot, which is Cancerian energy. It's funny because you told me yesterday that your son just came back, and Cancer is associated with like nurturing and motherly energy, right? And so this is your center right now. We have the Knight of Swords as your foundation. This can be about jumping to conclusions a little bit. This is about keeping clear thought, being passionate about what you stand for, being true, loyal, that sort of a thing. Doing the right thing for the right reasons, being of service, but mentally trying to kind of keep your stuff together in your mind, right? The Chariot would indicate forward movement too, right? So there could be some changes that are happening right now, but it's not necessarily a bad change. It would be a good change ultimately, although it could feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially with this Knight of Swords. There could be some indecision that was here. This would be in the past, right? Maybe not sure how to think or what to do. And so this shift in movement might make you feel a little bit worried too, like things might be shifting or changing for you in rather important ways right now that might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. But honestly, I think that you're going to be okay. That's just my feeling with these two cards. These are really sort of strong cards. The only thing, this can sometimes be about jumping to conclusions, but this would be in the past, right? So if you have jumped to conclusions or others have jumped to conclusions around you, made assumptions about you, that sort of a thing, or you've made assumptions, or maybe made decisions in a little bit of haste, and that has not worked out for you, right, in the past. That might be a little bit of the nerves that we're feeling around the changes that are taking place with this Chariot in the center. But ultimately, these changes should be good and will. I mean, let's be honest. Like, who really likes change? I mean, some people do, but it can change. Usually, significant change can be a little bit unnerving, right? So that's normal. I'm just going to say that. So don't stress about that. So let's go to your soul or spirit card. This is the Knight of Wands. Interesting that you have a knight above you and a knight below you. Let me just put these so that you can see them fully. Sorry, I don't like that it's so high up. With this please like, follow, subscribe thing, I have to kind of reconfigure my screen now because it's got that printed on there. All right, so we have two knights. So, and then this is the Knight of Wands. Wands is that element of fire or the element of in the spirit space, right? So that's very much in alignment. I feel like these guys aren't going to lead you the wrong way. Obviously, you maybe have been led the wrong way or felt as though, let's say that, maybe you think that you've made the wrong decision in the past, or you made a decision that you had to make in that moment in the past, and you might, maybe there's a part of you that regrets it, but I think that you don't have to, right? I think that the forward movement of the Chariot is going to be ultimately good for you. The Knight of Wands is about taking action, being swift about what you want to do. He's associated primarily with the sign of Sagittarius, and that's a very mutable, adjustable sign, but he's also associated with, like, Sagittarius is associated with expansion and positivity. This could be about moving ourselves in a way, trusting ourselves, taking action in what it is we think we need to do, even if we may not know the outcome, right? That would be some of this Chariot movement, but we can trust ourselves, even if there's been stuff that we're not sure about whether or not it was the right thing in the past. Does that make sense? The outside influences, we have the Seven of Swords. This is the liar, cheater, stealer card. This could be a situation where you feel like you've been dishonored, or it feels untrustworthy. It might feel like you're not being told the whole truth. This is something that's going on outside of you, Lisa, right? So this has nothing to do with you, but it's something that could be affecting you right now. There could be somebody that's not telling you the full story, or that has been, keeping things kind of out of balance. They could have lied to you, stolen from you, or not told you the truth. And then on the other side, we have the Five of Wands. So I'm going to say there's a fair amount of controversy going on around you. This is all about competition, getting out of hand. This can be about fighting for things. And it's interesting, we have swords and wands, and we have swords and wands. So I in a weird way, I like the complementary aspects of all of these in the sense that there's a balance amongst the chaos in your life, is what I want to say, or at least that's sort of the message that I'm getting from these cards, is that even though things might feel a little bit crazy going on around you, that you're maintaining some semblance of a balance in the midst of all of this, even if there's big changes that are happening at this time, right? The stuff that's going on around you, this will work itself out. This could be a little bit harder to work out, the Seven of Swords, because sometimes I feel like the Seven of Swords comes with a little bit of pain involved because of the betrayal aspect or the lying aspect, where this to me just feels like, I always call this card the whole lot of fuckery, right? Where it's just like situations that are annoying or maybe aren't going our way. They're not like insurmountable, they're just pains in the asses, right? Where this is a little bit more severe. But ultimately, I kind of feel like with both of these knights, I kind of get this sense of, knights also can represent like a source of protection. So I do feel like when we have these knights here, you're okay even in the midst of whatever chaos is going on around you. And the movement of this Chariot is going to probably push you towards a place where you're either going to see these situations in a different light, or you're going to interact with these situations in a different light, because you're just going to be in a different place at some point. It's just going to, and it'll be for your betterment ultimately. So I want to look at the outcome and see what that is, and that is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is about a new material ending, right? Or where we get to the ending, it's a new material opportunity or a change in our material world. When I say material, yes, it can be about money, yes, it can be about work, but it can also be about just our physical surroundings, how our relationships are configured around us, where we place the importance on certain things. I kind of get that vibe from this card too, where we decide to spend our time, our attention, all of that sort of stuff. Ultimately, this is a new beginning for you. So anything that's going on here in the outside influences that might be getting in your way, bothering you, or giving you a hard time, don't worry, it won't for long, is my feeling. Aces are usually about exciting periods of newness, right? So we want to be open to the idea of the change that we're in, or the change that we might feel that we're in the midst of right now. Even if we're feeling like we're struggling a little bit, allow yourself to move through this change. Trust yourself. Don't reflect too much on the past. Use your intellect, use your spirit and the wisdom of your spirit to guide you. Mistakes of the past are just that. They're mistakes that have happened in the past. Leave them there. And you can still act, not necessarily impulsively, but in the moment. And you can trust that. You have the intelligence around you. You have the spiritual aspect of it. And I will say this too, as far as the complementariness of wands and swords and wands and swords. Wands and swords are also complementary to one another, right? So even though these two cards are not the most exciting outside influence cards, they're kind of a pain in the ass and a little bit struggle bus, they're at least complementary to one another, and they're complementary to what's going on in the greater overall scheme of the reading, right? So I think even though if you feel out of place, overwhelmed, not sure, that's okay. Let these changes take place. Trust what is going on for you. This is associated with the sign of Cancer, which I know that you're like a triple water sign. So that's a kind of also a good thing, I think. It could be a little bit emotional for you, but that's all right. Ultimately, this Chariot is about moving ourselves to a position where we can then celebrate where we're at. And we see that celebration in the Ace of Pentacles. So I think, or that new opportunity where it's a new dawn in a way, or something is certainly different in our environment in a very material, realistic way, right? So there's a chapter that's probably ending here at some point, and something new is about to begin. You just have to finish out this chapter, is my feeling, and let it happen. Trust it. Use your intuition. Use the aspect of Cancer in this card. It can be moody and emotional, but it also can be very nurturing and mothering, right? So mother yourself through this transition right now. Love yourself through it, because you're not getting a lot of love from the outside influences at all. It seems like they're a little bit more on the selfish side of things, right? These could be people serving their own needs in whatever way they need to get their needs met. You don't have to take care of them. You just need to take care of yourself through this time. That's my feeling there. So that is your reading. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Jamie Taylor, how are you? Good, I'm glad, Lisa. And I feel like this says that there are good things to come. Also, the knights are usually, depicted with horses, which to me, horses are about power, about movement also. So there's definitely movement in that. I'm good. Thank you, Jamie, for asking. Just having a lazy Sunday. I start a new job tomorrow, a new temporary assignment through this temp service that I'm working for that gives me work from home opportunities. So I'm excited about that, but it's a whole week of training starting tomorrow in the morning. So I'm getting ready for that. No, you can pay for a reading. Christina, do you need the link? I can send you the Linktree link if you want. I'm just on right now, open to whoever wants to come on. Like whoever wants a reading kind of thing. Let me find the link. I can put it in the chat. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Wait a second. I thought is it missing? Hold on 1 second. I'm looking for it. I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Wow, it was further down in my email than I thought. All right. Let me grab my phone really quick. Sorry, guys, I'm back. All right. Okay, I saw your payment. Thank you, Christina. So did you want cards or did you want a charming? You can do either. And if you want cards, you get a choice of decks, 1, 2, or 3. I might do clarifiers. I might not. It all depends on if there's anything that I have a question about while I'm doing the reading. But if you want the reading, you would choose a deck. If you want a card reading, that's what I mean. Charms, okay. Just position this really quick. All right, and then general, okay, perfect. Is that out of focus? Let me just get that. Does that seem kind of foggy to you? This camera drives me nuts. I don't know if it's the autofocus on it. All right, so let's see. Insufficient data. That like spun around for a while. We have an H. We have a Z. We have a P. And we have a, let me just get this, a W. So we have 4, 10, 3, and 4. So that's, what the hell is that? That's 10, 14, 17, 21, which would be a 3, ultimately, numerologically. So let me look at this. 1 second. I gotta turn on a light. That's weird. Did this fly out, guys? Did this fly out? I just found this when I went to go turn on the lamp. I just found this on the ground next to the dog. It said, tell you later. Did you guys see if this hit the thing and bounce out? I don't know if that's part of the reading or not. It was on the floor by the dog on the other side of the room. It's weird. All right. We have the Three of Cups. Oh, we also have another. Jesus, I missed that. So this would actually be. What am I doing? All right. We have 4, 10, that's 14, 17, 21, 22. 22 is a master number, so we do not want to take a 22 down to any other size. 22 is stays the way that it is. It's interesting that it is a number 22. We also have two sort of Indian deities here. We have Ganesh flipped over and kind of upside down. We have, this is, I think, Vishnu. Lord Vishnu flipped upside down, but face up, and he's in the future. So when I'm looking at this, we have the Three of Cups upright. Three of Cups indicates celebrations, family, enjoying that sort of stuff, emotional well-being, all of that kind of stuff. But this would be sort of more in the past. And I feel as though there might have been stuff that was going on that was really good at one point in time. The Ganesh thing feels like your luck has maybe fallen off or did at this time. Like things were going along good. There was lots of friends, family gatherings, that sort of thing, celebrations even. But then maybe something came about that turned that all upside down or on its head, where your luck started to not go so well, or maybe not work out. And this would be more towards the past. I feel like you're coming out of that ideally. It's changing or shifting. Underneath this was the Five of Swords. And again, that was similar to Lisa's reading. The Five of Swords is about a whole lot of fuckery or competitive stuff getting out of hand. But when this is flipped over like that, to me, it speaks to kind of stuff maybe going on in the background, not necessarily being seen, or everybody around you maybe wasn't being as upfront as they should be about what their motives were or what their thoughts were. And I think that kind of created a little bit of this discord that you've maybe just come out of. In your present moment, we have the Starfish, which to me, I put this in here, it reminds me of the Star card, right? It's that kind of calm, centered peace. I like that this is up in your higher mind, right in sort of the dead center. I feel like you're probably trusting your own intuition more so than anything else right now. And part of that has to do with the fact that you might have had this, mishap, betrayal, whatever this is that went on in the background that you weren't necessarily, you may know about it now, but it wasn't necessarily made known to you then. It's required you or maybe pushed you to trust your own self first and foremost, your own information, your own intuition. And that's really kind of the guide that's guiding you home right now or pushing you forward is my feeling. Let me flip this over really quick. This is dwell on the good things and all good things will come to you, but it is flipped over, meaning that I feel like this is present in your life, like this is an opportunity to dwell on those good things. Focusing on the positivity is going to bring about more positivity. You're already headed into a position of more positivity just by what the charms look like to me, but it may not feel that way. There might be a little bit of a void that you're in right now, or kind of like a pause where you're like, okay, now what? Or what do I do? Where do I go from here? Because there's been some shifts or changes, but ultimately they are for your the changes will ultimately be for your betterment is my feeling. That's also this big open space here too. That kind of gives me this feeling of not maybe knowing exactly what the next move is or the next step might be for you. And we also have this saying insufficient data, right? And this is kind of a little bit more towards the future, but it's down in our subconscious where we may not necessarily know exactly what we want or how we want it. I think that with this being here flipped over, it's telling me to tell you, like, start to focus on the good things that are going on in your life. There are good things, even if you maybe don't necessarily see them. Keep focusing on them or being grateful for them, embellish them or, nurture them and allow more good things to come. I think more good things do come. I think that what we have here is where this Ganesh is kind of on the same line as Vishnu. He's upside down and face down. This Vishnu is upside down, but he's face up. Meaning, I feel like, this is sort of this in the future kind of getting better. Does that make sense? These Indian deities to me are about our own, magic, our own empowerment. When we see the unicorn here, also this is about our own sort of magic and trusting that. Both of these are more in the future. They haven't happened yet. So I think that there's an opportunity for you to access your own ability to maybe believe again, to dream again, to create again in your life with some authority, with some maybe even some passion, some excitement. This also, if this did, I have to go back and watch the video, but if this did bounce out and I just didn't see it, like if I wasn't paying attention, this says tell you later, which kind of is on par with this insufficient data. So this pause that you're in right now, and I feel like that's also, like I said, this empty space here, it might very well be a needed period, even though it might not feel the most productive to you or the most clear. This number 22 too is that master number of connecting maybe more to your spiritual self, your higher understanding, your higher knowledge, what we see here in this starfish, and trusting that above all else, even amidst sort of the shifts and changes that you've been through thus far. Like, I kind of want to say, don't let the past sort of tell you or dictate to you who you are now or where you're headed, right? Because I think that where you're headed is actually even, well beyond whatever it was that you've experienced in the past. Because even in the deity world, right, to me, Ganesh is a wonderful deity, but he's not as powerful as Lord Vishnu, right? And so even though Lord Vishnu is still a little bit upside down, that just says to me it's going to require a little bit more finesse or a little bit more patience as these things come about to you. These, I don't want to say abilities, but like as you regain your confidence, as you regain your skill, and I don't want to say that you've lost your skill, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm trying to express is that like this magical unicorn, right, and Lord Vishnu are very wonderful, spiritually powerful, magical even charms. And to have them showing up in your future says to me that, oh, great, she's arriving at some place where it's going to feel more empowered, more connected, more spiritually charged, more exciting, all of that. And right now it may not feel that way for you, but trust that it will get better and focus again more so on what is working right now, even if it's little by little, and build that for yourself. Stretch that out or expand it, nurture it, really like consciously choose it. And you learn something with, like, when there's master numbers of 11, 22, or 33, we're like learning something, we're mastering something, we're gaining something that's not only affecting our all levels of our being, right? From the physical to the mental to the emotional to the spiritual, but we're really taking it in and owning it. And I feel like this to me is almost like, when I look at this, I feel like a light on a lighthouse. It's sort of like this is in your higher mind. It's the light that is within your intuition, in your spirit, that's kind of telling you like, no, it's that quieter voice within you, Christina, that's being like, this is going to get better. We're going to be fine. Just, keep on keeping on, so to speak. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Heidi Phillips, how are you? Hey, Glenda. I can try and do a charming for the rest of the year, Glenda. I've never done one of those, so we'll see. I can just sort of look and see what the charms say. All right, so I'm going to clear this away. Thank you, Christina. And let me do Glenda's charming really quick. I don't know how a whole year will look, but we will see what comes out. So we've got an M, we've got an O. Ganesh is back. We've got another M. We've got Mom. We've got an O. We've got Momo. We've got an E. So we've got 3, 4, 3 again, 4 again. So that would be an 8 and then a 9. 9s are about closing of chapters. So I would say, to me, it's about, coming to personal completion with maybe a situation or thing in our lives. It could be about closing up a chapter on something significant for us by year's end. So keeping that in mind, let's look at all of the charms. You do have a lot of deities in your reading too. You have Green Tara, you have Kali, you have Vishnu is out here again. So is Ganesh. You also have the dream catcher in the center here, in the dead center, and it's covered by the elephant, right? And to me, the elephant can represent sort of that idea of the elephant never forgets. The elephant can be strength, he can be patience. And to me, he's sort of sitting on there. What I'm trying to figure out is he in the way of things? I also feel like when we're looking at this in, like, say, the terminology is like, say, the next 6 months, to me, I'm looking at this not in a past, present, future sort of grid. I'm kind of feeling like these charms are telling me that everything's sort of swirling in a circle, right? Like this is kind of what's swirling in your vortex, so to speak, if you understand like the teachings of Abraham. And in a way, this is Shokugure, right, which is the building of power in Reiki. But to me, it's also sort of symbolic of this. And I feel like all of these deities, both Ganesh, all of these different deities here, they're sort of maybe as spiritual helpers that are around you that want to help you to get into whatever maybe your possible dream is, right? This dream catcher to me feels like there's something that Glenda wants. Glenda knows she wants it, but is she willing to go after it? Is she willing to have it take place or make it happen? I feel like these deities around this, they feel like they're sort of swirling around it, trying to make it happen, open pathways for you. But are you willing to take those roads? Are you being, normally the elephant to me is very benefic, right? He's also depicted here again in Ganesh, right? But when he's sitting like this, to me, it feels like maybe you're reluctant to budge, or maybe you're reluctant to move. Maybe you're being this elephant in a way, being a little bit possibly stubborn. That's not something I normally associate with an elephant, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Like, I feel like what I want to do is I want to take this elephant off here and go like, okay, Glenda, you know what this is. Like, that's what I feel like I want to say to you, is you know what this is. This is like your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, and you know what you want. You know what you want, like, say, the next 6 months to how you want them to unfold and what needs to take place. But that might feel like more than you can accomplish, or more than you have patience for, more than you have strength for, or maybe you might have to, like, I don't know, move mountains in a way to do that. But I feel like with all of these deities around you, they want to help you move those mountains too. And you have to believe that, right? The baby to me up here in the far corner could indicate a new baby in general, but it could also indicate just like a new thought or idea, a new beginning, or maybe feeling vulnerable, especially with this, you have the hardened heart, which is this heart that, although it's strong, it's been scarred, right? And so these two over here kind of make me feel a little bit like maybe she's afraid to move forward on the thing that she wants or that she truly desires, because if she does that, then it means maybe, you know, a commitment from her that could feel scary, that could require a lot of time, attention, patience, all of that. Let's see what this is. This is the King of Swords. So this is about clear decision making, being very sort of black and white, analytical, almost when it's flipped over to me like this, I feel like this is sort of, if we make this decision, there's no turning back, is my feeling. And that's why he's flipped over, like we can't see him yet, because we haven't made that decision yet to move forward, to like get this elephant off of and go after the dream, like moving towards the dream. We might, the elephant too, in its sheer size and the way that elephant kind of lumbers, they move slowly. This dream might feel further away from you than you feel comfortable pursuing, right? Because this King of Swords to me would indicate that if she does decide to move on it, she has to really make that commitment, right? The frog here is about cleansing, which says to me that I think that this dream would actually benefit you, or this goal, this aspiration of yours. If you go after it, the opportunities there would like purify you in some way, or free you in some way, right? But you might have to, I feel like this King of Swords is very much a message of, if she makes this decision, there's like no, I forgot to put that back in there. There's no, if, ands, or buts. It's like a full commitment or no commitment at all kind of thing, right? The number 3 down here on this dice would be, it takes me to the place of the mind, body, spirit connection, right? The Holy Trinity that we all possess. And this would be the alignment of that, the way that it's standing sort of upright, how they're stacked on top of one another. To me, that reminds me of like it's sort of all in alignment and coming together. So we would also need this to happen too in the midst of all of this, but I think that it very well could. I feel like you have a shit ton of support around you in all of these different deity charms. And the fact that they're even flipped over, like some of them are flipped face down, doesn't bother me. I feel like they're kind of all, to be honest, Glenda, I feel like they're kind of all flying around you right now in your life, trying to make sure that you're okay and that you don't give up on something that you really want. And that's sort of like the flip nature of all of them, right? They're just sort of like all zipping around trying to like make things happen for you, is the feeling that I get. Or at least that's sort of like what they're telling me. And I just wonder if there's like something, some sort of change, move, whatever that you want to make, that you want to move towards, that you desire, that is going to cause you to feel vulnerable. That's that baby up in the corner. Like I kind of feel like the hardened heart is maybe the past and the baby is the future, and the two combined together, it's like, it almost feels like it's saying to me like, no, I've been through too much in my past. I can't do it. Like I'm too scared, or I don't know if I can make it happen. But the funny thing is that elephant, as much as he's like a heavy weight in the center there, trying to like maybe hold things off or keep things at bay, he's also extremely strong when he's like sort of moving in the right direction. I'm not saying you're moving in the wrong direction, right? You just might be choosing not to move at all towards what it is that you want, because you're not sure that you have the ability to take it on, if that makes sense. But the elephant, even though he's sort of blocking it right now, he is strong enough to make it happen. Is Glenda here? I'm not sure if she's still, if any of this is making sense to her. It's like if there's some area where you're maybe putting it off for fear of not being able to accomplish it, this next 6 months might be about you sort of shifting that and getting into some state of alignment where you actually can watch things come together and find the strength within you, make the decision. Also, that number 9 here is very much that sort of analytical nature of this King of Swords, right? That sort of, closing the chapter and moving to the next. Glenda says you have no idea how on target you are. That's awesome, Glenda. I love to hear that. Thank you so much. But I think like you have a lot of support. Maybe it's actual physical, visible friend support. These deities here feel like they're swirling around you, trying to get you to like not move, but like to trust the process is the word that I need to say here. I think is the best way to put it. And it does feel like it could be a little bit of work, I'm not going to lie, but I think that elephant, as much as he sort of feels cumbersome and kind of in the way right now, he also has a lot of strength, patience, and ability, and that's within you too. And you need to remember that part of it too. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Glenda, not last Sunday, but like, remember that day you messaged me and you said like, are you going to go live? I went live and you never showed up for last month. I was kind of surprised. I was worried. I was like, is she okay? Oh, you're welcome, Glenda. You're very welcome. All right, I'm going to clear this. All right, guys. Anybody else? Let me switch cameras here. If not, I'm going to go eat dinner. Is that the right camera? Yeah. God, how scary is my hair? I need to shave. I have to be on camera for this training tomorrow. Oof. I have to look at my mug. I've just been having such a lazy day. It's really hot here. I have the air conditioning on, but it's like hot and muggy. We've had like rain the last few days, and it's been ugh. Ugh. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, it's been kind of gross, the weather, but it's sunny today, but it's hot and everything's like steamy. I don't mind the heat. It's just sort of the humidity that bugs me. I like heat, actually. I like it when it's really warm, but I like it when it's drier heat. Christina says, I want to move to Alaska. I had a friend who moved to Alaska and he hated it. He fucking hated it. He was gone. He moved back in like a month. He said it was awful. So I don't know. I mean, Alaska, I visited there once and it was beautiful, but I don't know what it would be like to live there full time. The name of the show is called The Outsider. And it's got Jason Bateman, the guy from, what's that great show? Ozark on Netflix. He's the dad on Ozark. And he's directing it. Like, I don't know. He seems to be the director and he's in the first couple of episodes. And it's this weird, creepy, I guess it's a Stephen King novel that they adapted for TV for HBO Max, but I've seen no ads for it. I saw this random article on Facebook about it and I was like, this sounds weird. So I turned it on and it's a slow burn at first. It's like just weird and kind of creepy and you're like, what? But I'm totally like 4 episodes in and I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's and I'm gonna be pissed if they don't solve it by the end of this, because it's season 1, so they're probably not gonna solve it or give us the answers that we want by the end of the season, and I'm gonna have to wait a year for season 2. But it's good. It's got this weird, creepy vibe to it without being like too super over the top scary. It's more suspenseful, I would call it. But it's got this weird like I don't usually like supernatural stuff. That stuff kind of puts me off a little bit just because I don't know. I deal with mediumship and stuff like that, so I don't like to watch scary. I'll watch science fiction, I'll watch zombies, I'll watch like murderers in the forest. Like I don't care about that stuff. That stuff doesn't but like when you bring like Satan into it or like ghosts and shit, that stuff I kind of don't like. But, only because it feels like all bets are off. Like, a door can slam at any point in time or, and I don't like that. Like, I'm like, no, I'd rather know like, oh, the killer's outside, bitch. Like, run the other way. Like, I need to know where my threat is at all times. And so with supernatural stuff, and also I work in mediumship and stuff, like I'm studying mediumship and I work with cards and things like that. So I try not to open myself up to that aspect of it, right? But this is creepy and a little bit of that. But so for me to enjoy it, like I won't go see like The Conjuring. Like no. I have a good relationship with spirit. I don't let stuff haunt me like that. Like no, there's enough of that. No, no, girl, she ain't going there. But I like this, and it's creepy. It's a little bit like because it's getting into this space of because it is like supernatural, and I'm not usually a supernatural kind of dude. Like no, give me Jason or Freddy any day. That's Discovery of Witches. I have not. I'm watching Elite, which is a show on Netflix that has 4 seasons. It's kind of like, I call it Gossip Girl with a body count. It's like this Spanish sort of melodrama teenage thing where they're all in this rich kid's school and somebody dies and they're trying to solve the crime. That's kind of good. I've been watching that. I enjoy it a lot, but it's all in Spanish, so you have to read the subtitles. In Spanish, they speak very quickly, so I wish they would slow the subtitles down a little bit for an old guy like me. But then this other thing is this show, The Outsider, and it's just really creepy. Like, I found myself really drawn in. See, that's funny. I will totally do gore. Gore doesn't faze me at all. Like, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'll watch gore over Ghost any day. It's more of a Harry Potter type thing, but a different story. It's really good. I'll check it out. I don't mind witches. Witches like are okay. But I was really surprised. I don't know when it got made, but there's not any advertisement for it. I had to like search it on, like do the search button and look it up on HBO, and then it's there, and it's pretty good considering. I'm just surprised nobody's talking about it. But it's a slow burn, like it slowly builds, and you're like, what is going on? Like where? And they're starting to connect the pieces, and it's just creepy. So you might want to check it out. And nowadays, I don't like to commit myself to new shows unless I'm sure that they're going to make another season of it. Because it's such a bummer now. Netflix is just, they'll put something out and it could be great, but if it doesn't get enough viewership right out of the gate, they'll just get rid of it immediately. So like, that's why I started watching Elite, because Elite already has 4 seasons. So I was like, okay, that's enough of a program that I can totally, spend some time getting into it, getting to know the characters. Yeah, if you liked Who Killed Sarah, you'd like Elite then, Lisa, because I loved Who Killed Sarah, and I can't wait for that to come out. And if you liked Who Killed Sarah, then you would like Elite. You should check out Elite. I'm enjoying Elite a lot. It's that sort of similar to Who Killed Sarah, where it's very dramatic. Who Killed Sarah is a little bit more over the top as far as like, the twists and turns. Elite is kind of a little bit more melodramatic, but it's still good. And it's that like pulpy Latin drama, which I love. So you might like it. And there's 4 seasons of it. And I think that they're going to make a 5th. I'm just now finishing up the 3rd season, and I'm going into season 4. And it's only like, I think 8 episodes a season because it's Netflix. Not very long seasons. I wish they were actually longer, but I like the characters, and there's some people that I started out hating in the 1st season, and now I actually like them as I watch them evolve through the seasons. You kind of like them and stuff. So I like when stories do that, where you sort of learn more about the character, and then you're like, oh, they're not quite so bad. They could be in my squad at this point. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off because I got 2 burritos sitting on the table, one for now and one for tomorrow. But I just ordered burritos because I really wanted a burrito. So I'm going to go eat and probably watch The Outsider and panic. But thank you all for tuning in. I will talk to you guys, I'm here every morning on the YouTube channel with the daily forecast. You can always meet me there. And thank you to Christina for purchasing a reading. Thank you to all of you that picked up your readings, that subscribed to the Patreon channel. I really appreciate that, to the Patreon page. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. All right, have a good day. Bye, everybody.